guys, welcome back to another episode of Global Interviews. This is Starlight here. Today we have Andrew Fai, the Chief Visionary Officer from xtingles. Please welcome Andrew Fai.
Hi, nice to meet. Glad to be here.
Okay, so the first questions, let's just go simple one. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into the crypto industry?
Sure. So I've been full-time in crypto since 2016. Before that, I was a financial advisor in Los Angeles at a Waddell & Reed, which is a pretty old company that does financial advisory services. And the reason why I stumbled upon kind of the whole blockchain industry is because there's this MIT fintech course where that I wanted to talk about. They taught about kind of blockchain potential in the fintech arena. And that's how I got my first initial knowledge, kind of working with a lot of different people, discussing the potential of blockchain. And initially, I was just like a Bitcoin enthusiast, and then it was right about a time when Ethereum kind of came out. So I got pretty interested with the whole, code is law, smart contracts that Vitaly was talking about. And that's when I saw this massive potential with the entire blockchain industry, and I decided to go full time with it. And initially, I decided to move back to Taiwan. And the reason why I moved back to Taiwan is mainly because my grandfather wasn't doing too well. And I really want to be a good grandson for him in his remaining years. And when I got in Taiwan, I was just hanging around other crypto folks. Initially, it was a few coffee shop meetings, workshops, and I was involved with a media company at the time. And that's kind of when I was just really blown away by the amount of talent and creativity that's in the space. And in particular, as working at the media company, I was just flying around different Asia blockchain crypto conferences. And I really got my start kind of just doing networking, right? And I was networking with a lot of different speakers at the events, and it came out to me that we feel like this industry needs to have more well-structured conversations. And crypto congressman Jason Shu at the time reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's do a summit together so that we can bring in all the speakers and all the friends we know to Taiwan," right? And that's kind of how we started Asia Blockchain Summit. So I'm mostly well known as kind of the person who founded ABS, and with ABS, we're able to invite big speakers like CZ, SBF doing Sam Bankman-Fried from the early days, as well as Arthur Hayes and all sorts of very different big name speakers. And so we started our first summit in 2018. It was a major success, and kind of made a name for Taiwan to become a spot, a hub for blockchain talent. And we continued for 3 years before COVID. But because doing ABS, I was able to kind of quickly become like one of the most connected individual in Asia. And that's kind of how I met a lot of different friends we see today, including Jason Fang, who is a really good friend of mine. I do recall meeting him at one of a really private VIP event night, and that's how we became friends. So I had a really strong networking background. And fast forward after COVID, in 2020 December was when a group of friends we said that NFTs is going to be huge, because we always thought that there's always this missing cultural component to the Web3 space. So a few friends of mine decided to band together and start this company called xtingles. The reason why I kind of started xtingles is because I kind of foresee that in the near future, everybody's going to log into the different services through their wallet, and you will be able to get a good understanding of a person's interests or what they like within Web3 based on the NFTs they hold. So we kind of started off with this idea of okay, let's create this ASMR network for Web3 individuals. At the same time, help other artists within the ASMR space to bridge to Web3. And fast forward to now, we have done quite a lot for different artists, and I'm extremely bullish for entertainment and within the entire Web3 space. And yeah, so here we are.
Oh, that sounds so interesting. So I would like to ask, what xtingles stands for?
Okay. It means experience tingles. So tingles is a sensation where you would have when you listen to ASMR content. ASMR is actually refers to a response, a very natural recurring response that we all have. For instance, when you pop the bubble wrap, sometimes it's very soothing for a lot of people to pop bubble wrap, especially when and people feel a lot of pressure. They pop bubble wraps, and this very act of popping bubble wraps is very calming. And sometimes you would just zone out, right? And occasionally you'll feel this tingles at times. And if you look into other different videos online today, we can see that ASMR is one of the most popular therapeutic content people consume on a daily basis to help them with sleep, help them with relieving stress, and help them with a lot of anxiety issues. So we just thought that, how nice would it be to bring ASMR to Web3 by working with other ASMR artists to create their NFTs, as well as expand on a whole suite of utility tools to help them further expand on the possible use cases for their ASMR NFTs.
So we can see there are a lot of NFT collections on the ASMR NFT marketplace at xtingles, and they're all fascinating work of art. So personally, which one is your favorite and why?
Yeah, so I think the favorite was probably the first Genesis NFT called "Free Like a Butterfly." And the reason why it was our favorite one, at least my favorite one, is because it was original IP that we created, and we just want to set the tone of what a potential ASMR NFT should feel and sound like. And it was an interesting combination of working with ASMR artists as well as visual artists to push forward this concept of ASMR NFTs altogether. And just like the Free Like a Butterfly NFT is just, it is a reminder for everybody out there to just be free with who you are, what you do, and be confident, And I think it sends a really strong message. At the same time, the way how it's spoken, the way the sound that accompanies to it, I think that it gives people kind of a good idea about this potential of like therapeutic NFTs that can become a thing that we believe, and kind of that's kind of how we started, and it is also one of the most popular NFT on our marketplace at the moment. So that's definitely my favorite one.
Oh, that's amazing. So what is the mission and the vision of the xtingles?
Sure. So the mission is to help bridge the gap between Web2 content creators, ASMR content creators, to Web3, and simply because it is a mission of ours, because we realize that some of these ASMR content creators, they're very highly dependent on the newsfeed algorithm of YouTube, Twitch, for their earnings, and they mostly earn through ads, and some of these ads are, so at times they may be inappropriate, or even at times the platform itself, YouTube and Twitch, may accidentally censor some of these ASMR artists as a whole because of some of the content they create that's been flagged by these algorithms. So we thought that the only way to break free of these these newsfeed algorithm-based platforms would be just to enable these artists to create their own NFTs and sell them on direct to consumers, as well as building their own following within the Web3 space. And the vision is definitely to create an ASMR network in Web3. As I said, I feel like in the near future, Web3 social networks is going to be built around kind of the type of NFTs you hold. So we wanted xtingles NFTs to be to resemble kind of someone's interest for ASMR. And with that kind of line of thinking, we wanted to build a whole social network that can further expand on this ASMR metaverse that we have in plan. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So personally, I'm really enjoying the ASMR. I like, yeah. I usually just like play the ASMR when I was doing something else, like focusing or need to be concentrate or I want to be relaxed. It's kind of like a popular thing for sure.
Yeah, it's a number. It's trending. The search term ASMR is trending globally. Probably the top
Yeah.
5 search term on YouTube and Twitch is right now.
Yeah, yeah.
We're projecting it to be a very a widely consumed type of content going forward, especially when when we start entering this world of just remote culture and work from home. I think it is hard to feel relaxed sometimes. So I think ASMR content provides this therapeutic nature for a lot of people out there, and this is exactly the reason why we thought that our focus on kind of this ASMR space, bringing it into Web3 can be of great potential here. And not only just like just simply an art NFT, ASMR art NFT, but just everything ASMR NFTs in terms of utility of memberships as well as different access. I think that we're just in the really beginning of this future ASMR Web3 network that we're trying to create here.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think? What's the role NFTs will play in the property rights?
I think that one of the innovations that has come about to the entire space is the terms of agreement from Yoga Labs on Bored Ape Yacht Club, where they specifically give 100% commercial rights to the NFT holders, and I think that is a really big innovation that often understated, simply because previously, kind of when we see it, other NFT creations like CryptoPunk, which is a Creative Commons license, which is nobody own, like there's no commercial rights. Everybody's up for can use it freely, while kind of Bored Apes kind of really restructured this and thought about, hey, we want to give the owners the full commercial rights to expand on, to reinterpret, to create further content for their apes, right? And what we're seeing here with Bored Apes is like we see like people using their apes to create like there's a fast food chain that features the owner features all their apes, as in French fries and a burger, as well as everything they do. And there's even, we see Eminem and Snoop Dogg doing their music video with their Bored Apes, So I think that what we're seeing here is just like the NFT itself, can resemble more than just the image itself. It actually is. It can become like a rights to commercial ownership, and I feel like it's very innovative if you think about it, because you can be this rightful NFT owner, and you can do whatever you want with it, and nobody else could, and I always thought that it is the beginning of kind of what we're seeing with true ownership in the Web3 space, where everything is monitored on chain, as well as everything is governed by the community, and with that in mind, I think that NFT plays a very innovative role of how we go about defining intellectual property rights.
Yeah, definitely. As we know that OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace, but OpenSea's official Discord was compromised in the phishing attack that stole at least like $18,000 worth of NFTs in this years. So how could people trust the security of this kind of platform?
Yeah, I think that I think this actually gives a interesting opportunity for a solution, maybe a protocol for the community to follow through. I think we're still in the days of the wild west of Web3, where there's a lot of hackers and mischievous people and trying to steal NFTs here and there with suspicious links, and as well as with kind of abusing kind of some of the open tools like MetaMask for these kind of phishing attacks. So I think that I think to resolve these kind of security issues, it comes down to kind of MetaMask stepping up some of the warning features. I think they made a big announcement where whenever you enable any interaction for any contract, MetaMask will remind users that, hey, are you sure giving full rights to this this platform, this contract to use your NFTs and from your wallet, right? And these security measures are actually really good for the industry as a whole. And second of all, I think that for Discord, I'm not too sure if Discord is making any plans to tightening up some of their third-party hooks to prevent some of these security issues to happen. But I do foresee kind of things on the, like protocol along the lines of RegTech to come about to resolve this issue. And I think that well, fast forward a couple of years from now, there will no longer be needed. Like we will no longer need to kind of depend on government or a police or FBI to kind of help trace these NFTs anymore. Where we'll have like better RegTech tools and even better governing system throughout the entire crypto space, where if things are stolen or hacked, we would simply mark them as dirty coins, you know. So I do feel like we're just in a process right now where there are a lot of wild west, like bad actors, but eventually there will be so many tools, RegTech tools, to help prevent us to have these security loopholes, or at least at the very least tighten it or make it very difficult for these thieves to continue to operate.
So there's a humor about the NFT. Some people still believe that NFT represent all the wrong with the last stage capitalism, rampant greed, and incentive to fraud, weapon disregard for the environment. So what is your idea of that thought?
Yeah, so it's what we call a degen culture. That's really rampant here in this entire space right now. You know, I almost feel like it's a natural progression for the entire space to see these kind of you know, these fraud taking place so often, because as initially kind of crypto has always started off as kind of this anti-bureaucracy or anti-government these origins, you know. So to some extent, I kind of think about it as the free market as defined by Adam Smith, where there's no need for any governing body to a government entity or jurisdiction to limit the whole free trade, while the market participants over time will create better, more robust tools and even more tighter governing systems to police themselves, you know. So I think it's just a natural phase for this, and eventually it's going to be much harder to commit fraud. And as I said, this is just like a really beginning phase of NFTs right now. I think NFTs only came about 2017, so we're still a pretty early stage here. With the current market maturing itself over time. I think scammers are, I mean,
everywhere.
They're everywhere, and you know, like, believe it or not, they're also a driving force of the economy as well. I think in every kind of maturing phase of any capitalism of sorts, you know, in play, I think there will always be scammers kind of in every other quarter, but eventually it's going to get much more difficult over time. And I think this is a reflection. I think some of the common things we're seeing here in the NFT space today is, you know, we'll see other artists stealing other Web2 art and making them as NFTs and selling them, right? These are very common things that are happening, as well as we're also seeing kind of these bad smart contract where they will just steal everything in your wallet. I think these things are, I think there are more and more what we call kind of reg tech entrepreneurs coming up, coming up with interesting solutions of how we're going to mitigate these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the bottom of all this, I think that all it takes is kind of MetaMask stepping up and creating these more security features for their wallet. But then again, it's just like, how do we keep a fine balance between kind of decentralization and centralization philosophies here? Because if MetaMask start banning specific IP addresses from using the wallet, or if MetaMask start banning specific people, then it may be seen as centralized, right? And this becomes a bigger problem of, are we kind of shaping ourselves towards a more centralized future with the whole cryptocurrency promises here? And this is a very tough question to answer, but all I can say is just like, eventually the community, the different network of communities will self-police themselves. So for instance, even if you were to stole someone's artwork from on the Web2 space, and if you were to get caught by other community members, then the reputation of this specific wallet address would be tainted, and it will be very difficult, right? So I think in the near future, I think everybody's reputation will be based on kind of the transactions they do on their wallet addresses. So I think over time, reputation points will be this concept of reputation points or reputation credits will be embedded into kind of the transaction history of wallet addresses. And with that in mind, I think that with newer tools, we'll be able to know who should be more careful of. If for instance, if you're transacting with someone who has never done any transaction in his wallet or done any transaction with his contract, you'd be very more careful, right? But if you were to be reminded of the person you're transacting with already ahead of time, you would have thought about how do you prevent, what are some preventive measures that you could do. So I think all in all, it is just a maturing phase that we need to go through. And I think fast forward a decade from now, we won't be seeing this many kind of frauds going on.
So what's driven crypto art investors to spend millions on NFTs, despite no guaranteeing their value will increase?
I think speculation is something that it simply cannot deny. I think people want to make more money. I think this inherent greed of capitalism is the main reason why there are people spending millions on NFTs. And as well as it's also kind of a statement on chain where, hey, you bought this people NFT for $69 million. I mean, all of a sudden this wallet address becomes this very well-known address because it spent so much money on this artwork, right? So it is, if you think about it in the perspective of how do you create or how do you establish a reputation as an anonymous or pseudo-anonymous individual with your blockchain address, then purchasing these NFTs is a way, it's almost instantly the fastest way to communicate the level of wealth or level of cultural preferences or art preferences that you may have, right? And with that in mind, sometimes people spend these crazy numbers to maybe to show off, or maybe to make more money, or even maybe to make a statement, for themselves.
NFTs are an exciting new development in the world of digital property rights, even though NFTs still are relatively new technology. And I would like to ask you about how they will impact the internet economic in the future.
I think NFTs will resemble or will at the very least represent identity in the future. What I mean by that is I think you will be judged by, previously before NFTs, people are judged by kind of how much crypto they own, what kind of tokens they own, kind of and just based on crypto wealth and types of projects they support. But ever since kind of NFTs become a commonplace, it adds a whole new cultural component, or even a preference component of, okay, what kind of artwork do you support? What's your preferred style? What kind of artists do you like? It adds a whole new dimension of culture in this space, right? So I think that in the near future, what we're seeing here with NFTs is like, you can see them as as a membership pass, or you can see them as a kind of a token to access further expanded services in the near future. Even I almost feel like these NFTs you hold would become this key to a gateway to unique networks that you can participate in, right? And then I also want to bring up kind of lately we're seeing kind of the Web2 platforms such as Facebook Messenger, where we heard about this police they were able to put this innocent woman to jail because of her conversations with her mother on abortion. And it becomes very evident that privacy within these Web2 platforms, for instance, Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp, or other platforms, they're no longer private anymore. Some of these conversations are heavily monitored. So I think crypto is going to change that drastically, and I feel like NFTs can become like this propellant for more users to onboard to the crypto space. That's kind of as a key to access, the different services, the different conversations, the different Web3 culture that it's about to come. So with that in mind, I almost feel like the new internet economy is going to be a crypto wallet sign-in experience where you no longer use any account password, where you just use your wallet to sign in, and you could achieve a high degree of privacy, or even you can make your name out for yourself as an anonymous individual just based on kind of the transactions you do on chain. So I definitely feel like we're definitely converging towards a cryptographic based sign-in in the near future.
So the final question is, what are your next steps as the Chief Visionary Officer in xtingles?
Right. So we definitely want to help onboard more ASMR content creators to the Web3 space. And what that means is providing them with the tools they need to create their own NFTs, and also giving them more guidance on how do we operate and run a community, and most important of all, creating an infrastructure layer for them to further expand on what they can do with the NFT holder community that they've created from the NFTs they issued. So what I would say here is just like, anchoring along the lines of creating the largest Web3 ASMR network. We want to build out a ASMR metaverse where ASMR enthusiasts, lovers, and creators can all benefit from this Web3 network we're trying to create, starting with NFTs.
Yeah, that will be amazing. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe our channel as well. And thank you, Andrew, for coming to our channel. And it's really nice to meet you. And it's my pleasure to speak with you as well.
Pleasure as well.
So see you guys next time. Bye.